So we're here to share this consciousness that we all are, that beyond what we each think and who we appear to be as at the level of form, we are all this formless, boundless, awake, aware consciousness that is uniting the whole of life. The whole universe is united here, I feel. And this experience of making ourselves available to this one life that we all are expressions of is really what this group is exploring experientially. And I can feel the love coming up inside of my heart right now, and it radiating out, and I feel the love in everyone here, and I feel the love of life touching us all, and I know that as we pay attention in this way, that the love that we all are will just get stronger, and we'll feel it and be able to speak more easily and readily from it, individually and together, and that you in the watching here today will, can relate to this, that we want to share with you so much as a single, indivisible consciousness. Who would like to speak next?
As we were preparing for this exercise, for this practice, I feel like I was really resonating with this idea of speaking into a larger circle and offering like 100% and more of myself rather than my 50%. So that that's my baseline, 50% you and 50% me. But I feel like there is it's like an invisible barrier there that all of a sudden I feel like breaking through it and bringing all of that I have to the listening, because we are as we are doing this practice of unity, undivided attention. It's not only directed to our small group here, to small hangout. It includes everyone. So, and although it feels a little strange to speak to people, to listeners and viewers that I don't even know, I feel like it's actually it makes sense, and it's what I want to do because it's what we are here to do, and being that we are actually one. So I'm really happy, and as usual when I start this, when I'm in this mode of unity consciousness, I start feeling this energy, and that is a sweet energy and feels like love coming up from my heart and into my words and into my probably my expression. So that's what I'd like to share right now, and I'll pass the mic.
I'll speak to the audience that we know of, the one audience that we don't know of. The first thing comes to me to say is that the best way to understand what this is to experience it for yourself. In the present moment, whatever present moment you are in, I'm in this one right now. The only thing I can do is to embrace this present moment and speak from it. And I feel the idea of being an individual self is inherently alienating. You are holding on to something that isn't true. And yet, through the present moment, you can embrace your individualness and love that for what it is, and realize that your individual point of view is absolutely valuable and inseparable from the whole. And you have something, a very unique gift and point of view to offer to the all. And it's something very like a sacred contract that you have with everything. And I feel the best way to honor that gift is to jump into this healing process of present moment awareness that teaches us all that we are greater than ourselves, and also that ourselves are valuable and beautiful and worthy of love. And these two things are powerfully healing, and but they have to be embraced, and we have to participate in that in the present moment. It's not an intellectual concept. It will never be that. It can't be understood by the mind. You have to just open up and participate. So that's my introduction to whomever may be listening, and to everyone that's here. Is just to sum that up to myself and to all of you. Thank you.
I'd like to jump in here. Gary, and Anna and Naomi, you're so dark. I mean, nobody's going to want to listen or watch this if we're not even presentable visually. And Nellie, you're pretty dark too there. We need to have a full range from white to dark in our faces and everything to otherwise, it's very. And then the other thing is, I'd like to ask. It's okay to be philosophical to some extent, but essentially we want to focus attention, I would say, on our experience of what is nonverbal, because that's the vast majority of what it is that we all are. And that's ordinarily not what we focus on. We focus on our thoughts, our philosophy, who we think we are, what we think we have to say. We lecture people. We tell them what we think, and so that they could consider thinking it too. And that doesn't really work very well, I think we're finding. And when we're very, very awake and aware as one, that has a transmission, an intelligence, a peace, a stillness that is sorry, I'm feeling a little deranged here. I can feel a little bit like I have a multiple personality disorder or something. So yes, it takes concepts to ask us to do this. Yet, in the doing of being aware of awakeness and using our words to point beyond themselves, by embodying this silence, there is a sense of being indivisible from everyone. You know, in a sense, kind of bringing the focus to this, the depth and energetic of this unity, rather than to and describing that can work to some extent if it's really being felt as it's being described. We've all experienced that. So let's continue to explore here. This is an experimental exploration, obviously. So please continue. Who would like to speak next? Gary, you're still so dark. And Nellie, you're very dark too. Your whole face is dark. Is there any way that we can get light on our faces in these groups? Because it's, wow. Let's see if we can really, thank you.
Does that look better?
That's better.
I have a auto light setting on my camera. Sometimes it works, sometimes it washes me out, so I had it turned off. If that looks better, then I'll leave it like that.
Okay. So Gary, you can't see what we see. You can't see that we see you as much more brightly lit now.
Yeah, I see that now. It was hard to. I didn't really notice myself looking that dark until I turned the right light back on. Now it looks a lot brighter. So if that looks okay with you guys, I'll just leave it like this.
Yeah, and Nellie, you're still dark.
Nellie is too dark.
You're like lit from behind. Okay. Okay, please continue. Who would like to speak next?
Wonder if you can hear the thunder. Can you hear the thunder here? No?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. Wonderful. So it's thundering here. Awakening. Us here in England, and we are awakening here together. And we try to talk about that was kind of easily described, and yet is here. We all share it. Without it, we couldn't be anything. And whether our image is in the camera or not, that consciousness that is conscious of everything and itself is here. We all share it. And it's there all the time. We pay attention together. We pay attention while we talk. Aware of a still place. We pay attention when we listen from the stillness. The stillness doesn't require words. That it will permeate the words, and that's part of our task here together, to use words permeated by the stillness, so we can connect with that stillness within you, within us. Or thundering here that we can share, quite exciting and fresh and new, unexpected, and in the stillness we welcome it. Thank you. Who'd like to go next?
I'd like to also suggest that we, take our glasses off when we take our turn when we are speaking, because there's so much reflection that it kind of inhibits really feeling connected. Anything that has been filmed, it takes about 95% of the energy out of it when you're just watching something. That's why most films are so hyped up, is that that's the only way. I mean, if you can film yourself doing something you really were excited about, and then when you watch it, it's not interesting to watch. Because for a variety of reasons, and it has to do with the engagement and speaking more naturally, like we're really speaking to people. I mean, if we were speaking very, if we're really speaking to people, we're not going to and they're going to continue to listen to us, we have to really speak to them and engage them. So let's try to be very engaging and just explore that, experiment with it. Let's see whether that can work here. Okay? Let's give it a go. Thanks. Who would like to speak next?
I think there are like sensory indicators of the truth, and the thunder that we heard is one of them, kind of a reaction to what Anna was about and sharing. It was very powerful to listen to the silence through the words, I find. And also the facial features. When one speaks the truth, there's a softening of the facial features. There's something etheric that is kind of emanating from it. So these are kind of cues, I find. I feel a kind of compassion for us. We're trying so hard to be the truth and to be our true selves and to seek the unity that we all are. So we are fully aware that we are one. But there's all these layers. There's the layers that just the daily life. I guess living in a society which is just starting to awaken. I think if we would, our group would live together or nearby, near each other and so on, it would be much easier to communicate like this fully. But now it's like, for me at least, it's more like experimenting. Okay, how do I really reach that point where I'm fully present, where I'm fully loving, where I'm fully myself, my true self? That's the task here. Breaking the habits, breaking conditioning, and communicating the way we were designed to communicate. Like you said, it's very mostly non-verbally, even though we are emitting sounds, it's really not about the content. And so how do we emit the sounds that really reach the heart of the other person, that really moves the other person, that really conveys the true love and the purpose. So that's what we're here for. Who would like to speak next?
I'm feeling quite of embracing the illusion and the delusion of being, and feeling it with in my body and my heart and mind, and learning to, through this practice, to connect and to be aware of what we are here for. And feeling every moment how powerful it is for all of us to be aware of how we feel, how we are individually and as a collective. And discovering and every moment what it is, what it means for us all to be here, to do what we're doing, to be aware of what we're doing. To be aware of what we're co-creating together, how we are co-creating these, how we're making love happen through all what we're doing here in this practice. And it's been very inspiring in my life process of being somebody and also anybody and everybody within. And I feel through these I'm getting to feel, to notice with all of you how great we are and be grateful for it. Thank you. Pass the mic.
There's this quality that is unchanging, that seems to be everywhere and nowhere, that appears to be the source of my awakeness, our consciousness. It doesn't have a form. And all the forms, all the thoughts and feelings and sensations that I'm having, and I sense very subtly that we're having, as well as the plants and even the energetic of the architecture around me, the structures, the sky, the sunlight, everything, every form, every sentient being appears to coexist in this space, this spacious place. that has no image. And in being aware of this with my whole body, heart, and mind, I feel more whole. I feel more complete and more connected to everything and everyone. And the more connected I feel, the more indivisible I feel, the more wonderful I feel, the happier I feel, the more love and loving I experience myself and us to be. And I feel free. I feel freer as this being aware of this awareness. And to point to this and to bring our attention to it so that in hearing my words are pointing to, are resonating with that which is beyond any vibration, any possibility of division. And this indivisibility of our being is spectacular. I mean, it may have no image, but in that it embodies all possible images and makes them, seems to refresh them, seems to, by connecting them all together, it reunites them again and again and reproduces them and represents them to me and to us and to all that is alive and all that is. And so I have a really great interest and respect for that which appears to be nothing whatsoever, that is allowing, by stepping out of the way, by not being anything or anyone, this imageless emptiness seems to be, bringing us all together. And it doesn't seem to have an intention, but it does seem to be bringing us all together, so that we notice, so that we can notice, so that we can notice whatever we ordinarily notice, and that we can, by noticing this, that unifies everything and everyone. There's a feeling of us sharing a sense of completion and wholeness and joy and meaning that transcends any meaning in anyone and anybody's opinion. And I'm very thankful that there is such a quality that we all can share. Thank you. Who would like to speak next?
As I am listening to each one of us speak, and I receive the vibrations of the energy that comes out of those words, I feel like and I also point my attention to the unchanging, the space that is always there. I feel like my experience is to I am experiencing myself as the person speaking, as the person listening. I feel expanded to that point that my breath, and it comes from my body experience, which is deeper breath, and my heart is expanded. Whereas, and on the other hand, when I come back to, when I'm distracted by some thoughts, and I feel like I'm contracting back inside myself, and the person, what I hear, the words, they have a different. I'm going into the meaning of the words, like I'm trying to analyze when I'm distracted by thoughts. But when I am you, I feel I get what is spoken on so many levels. So I'm really aware that the practice, the task at hand here is particular. It's to be in this stillness, in this meditative state of unity, and at the same time communicate it in a way that on the same level, not intellectual, but on the same level. And it's challenging. We are learning here. We are all learning, except for Sperry, who's been doing this for years and years. The rest of us has been doing only for the few months. But I can say that it has changed our lives big time. And so what I like to convey in my share is that it's a good idea to hang in there because it does make a difference. This practice has a huge effect. So and the interesting part, what I find exciting is the fact that most of the time we speak about nothing. That's the point. We speak about our being into the space of nothing and experiencing it. The first thing that happens for me right now is this sense of joy and sense of infinite possibility that comes out of sharing, listening, and while staying in my own stillness that we share all together. I feel it. I feel that there is a vibration that we all share here. So there's a peace, and it's something that all of us can take to our lives. This kind of state. It happens every time that I have, and it stays there. I actually come from this most of the time, even in my life, in my daily life, when I am faced by life. This inclusion, and also this compassion that I feel. I feel this compassion for all of us, that we are hanging in this and we are practicing. This is not what we grew up doing. So there's new layers of every time. I feel today is, I feel that I'm stepping into something that wasn't here last time that I was in this hangout. So exciting, so alive. I feel so alive. And I'm so glad to share this aliveness with all of us and feel yours, even if I don't know you. So thank you, and I'll pass the mic.
I'm sitting here and just really enjoying what everybody's saying. It's just wonderful to hear, to feel your energy coming forth. And honestly, I have no idea what to say right now. So much I can say. So many different points of view to share. And I feel some things I'm aware of I can't speak about. It's too shocking, or it's too confronting. On the other hand, it doesn't really matter what I say. Like just the energy of being present and holding this energy is really what this is about. What comes through to us, it's so varying, and so it's like feels like there's an individual curriculum just waiting for each of us. And the first step is to come alive by learning what you are. And learning what you are, it's a moment-to-moment process. There's no static, definitive definition for what you are. We are together creating what I am, what we all are, moment to moment. It's like disintegrating into nothing and coming back into something infinitely. You know, I feel like somebody that's watching this, I can speak to that person for weeks about what this is and about what I learned, you know, and would barely be scratching the surface. And this aliveness that speaks through me right now, wants to share heart to heart, you know, that the world we live in feels like it's designed to absorb that aliveness and attenuate it, scatter it in infinite directions so that the heart-to-heart connection is never felt in its full strength. Like that's something, the deepest fear of the world is to be truthful or something, you know, and the countless horrible things that occur as a result of that are almost unspeakable to even contemplate. And yet there's nothing to fear, you know. This fear of the unconscious and fear of the unknown is what's driving us to create this false pleasure that we seek in the world, and it actually makes things worse. And embracing the self that you fear, that like there's some horrible thing there awaiting you to know yourself, diving into that is what gives you the greatest pleasure. You know, it's really a funny, impossible to explain thing. It's like this very dynamic process. But at the same time, whatever that is, there's only one route to it, which is the same thing that we're doing together right now, which is to be present and to embrace that force that is always the same. There's always, it's the one thing we can rely on to always be there. It's you can recognize it instantly. It's like the ultimate confidence-giving, warmth-giving, life-giving thing that has no form and can't be explained in words and doesn't need words. Yet here we are trying to explain it. That stillness and that security, it's just there. Whatever I say or don't say, that steadiness is just ever present. It anchors all of us together, and it's just so honorable, beautiful. Okay, I'm done for now. Thank you.
I just want to share something that has been shared in the group before about just show up. Because it looks that it's something very difficult to put attention to that kind be seen, and we might be busy with our lives and thoughts. And yet, like a coin with two different faces, at the same time, it's as simple as we are here and we all can feel the connection. Just showing up and allowing ourselves to not know and to be comfortable with what is, and allowing that stillness, that presence to come through us, to move our lips, to relate to each other. As from that place, we are only different aspects of the same being. So again, in the simplicity of being here, this childlike attitude of, I'm here, we all are here, and it's very attractive to be here. It has it's appealing just to be able to be, and just to be. And it's very peaceful, and it's comfortable, and it's good to be able just to be beyond any identity. Just and we all have that. We all have that. It's in all of us. But I'm thinking that normally when we mix with people, we just go because we have a particular interest. We all like football, or we like painting, or whatever. But this group is universal because we all have that. It doesn't exclude anybody or anything, because it's that sustains everything. And you and me and anybody that could ever watch this, is one. Is one with us and with the whole. So this inclusiveness of this presence that doesn't have a form, and yet it includes all forms. And it's a deep connection. It's just it's an unbreakable because doesn't separate anything, only includes and is able to connect everything, anything, everyone, including animals and trees, and so that inclusiveness, and back again to the simplicity, because it's just there, it's just here. It's just that we come here consciously to pay attention together. And then we realize it's always there. It was there before. It's very beautiful to pay attention to that we might not normally pay attention, and to feel the peace, the love, the easiness that is here. It's just nice to share. Thank you. Who would like to go next?
I have to apologize. It's almost 10 p.m. here, and I'm I'm fading fast. I do feel a connection, and I feel like Anna mentioned, very comfortable, very much at home. And nothing is really required. It's a sense that everything is here, everything I need is here. There's a sense of fulfillment, sense of a real sense of oneness in this quiet, peaceful place that we have co-created today. I watched the Olympics, and it's a different sense of oneness, but I think this practice has made it much more tangible. I could really sense myself, the gymnast, up in the air, making all the somersaults and everything. It's I could feel the air. I could totally identify, not necessarily with the action, as with the heroics that was expressed, the expression of heroics, the heroic self, which is what we're doing here. It's doing something that very few people are doing, and more and more will do. So there's this sense of, with the Olympics became very clear, to trying to break through, trying to just break and shatter everything that is holding me back, and everything which is not 100% pure is a very strong yearning to be 100% pure and true. So this is a place where I can be that, and where everyone is that. It's a lot of beauty. And I feel the love welling up now. And all my cells are settling down. Very content. There's a contentment in my cells, in my cellular. It's as if my cells have become very peaceful and stopped working so hard. There's a sense of how hard they actually work. All the machinery and the mitochondria and everything, it needs to be done, and now they're resting. So my body's resting, and I feel deep peace now. Thank you. Who would like to go next?
I feel, as Naomi said, this peace between us all. How we can feel together this peacefulness, this state of total relaxation. Just by paying attention together, how can we experience to go from one level to another? All our senses and our bodies become to feel more still and present. It's definitely a very healing place to be. What we can create together, what we make happen, what we can feel. I love to feel how we make this, how we feel each other's bodies, senses and feelings through this deep connection. I feel my body when I'm here going, transcending to a different, like almost weightless. And I can feel us all feeling this, connecting deeply, sharing what we all and everyone is sensing in this moment. I imagine what can we this do to others. And it's a privilege to experience this sensing of growing, awakening, being aware, self-aware, expanding, transcending, growing. Inspiring ourselves to be within us and with others. It does make.
No, it's true that it's so simple to just be what we already are. It's another matter to speak about it when we ordinarily don't pay attention collectively and speak about what is unnameable and indescribable. Yet I have a sense that it's a little bit like, we're in a sense we're like miners trapped in a mine, a coal mine or something, and we're at the surface and we're trying to lift the trapped miners out of the hole in the ground, and we're all working together and pulling hard on the rope to lift our compadres free of being trapped. And the trap here is that it's like we've all experienced what it took to learn to drive a car. Well, when I first learned to drive a car, I thought, well, I should be able to do this, but in fact, I wasn't able to pay attention at all levels with the pedals and what was around me, and so it required a kind of hypervigilance that I wasn't experienced at or wasn't practiced at. But after a while, that which was unconscious for me, unpracticed for me, became so effortless that it all just came automatically. And I feel that that's what is happening here in these groups, is that we are becoming more and more effortless at doing something that is unfamiliar. And by making these hangouts on air and sharing our progress, our failings, our successes, that we're at least being humble and encouraging that by showing what it takes to do something like this. It may seem completely ridiculous. Many people never bother learning to drive a car or operate a computer. It does take a lot of time and attention and practice to learn how to do anything new. In this case, typically the average person gives most of their attention to what they think and what they're doing, what they feel. And that's a very individuated practice. Here we're being asked to step up out of that being self-isolating, seeing ourselves as separate, and instead notice something which is interconnecting and indivisible. And instead of talking about the usual thoughts and things and activities, we're we're asked to re-educate and habituate the thinking mind, the ability to speak verbally about not only our philosophies, but which are interesting and organizing of our attention, but to attend to attention itself, which is constant, it has no image, and appears to be uniting everything that we are perceiving. And so a simple little step like that is so challenging that it almost, as valuable as it may seem, a step to take together and to learn how to do as individuals, it still is, it's like doing a very difficult asana in yoga or something like that. It's stretching and exercising our bodies, hearts, and minds in a way that that really is isometric. That is, it confronts every aspect of ourselves that we are as a whole, and that we are coming together 3 times a week to confront and our entire body, heart, and mind as a whole, as a group, with whoever wants to join in with us and learn about this or experience it vicariously through us, as us, because we are you, too. And we're making that our focus here, to be inclusive in the same way that this formlessness is all-inclusive. And so that we can share a commonly sensed intelligence and feel this one-heartedness and the joy and love that we're all capable of, that nature has designed us to explore and discover through living. Who would like to speak next?
Well, this effortlessness, relaxation, peace that emerges by being together like this allows me to, I see that there is more of me, or more of consciousness coming out of me, or of us. I feel that when the contractions are relaxed, they become more available, wider range of, like seeing with eyes 360 degrees more. There is this added component, which is to express what we feel, to speak while we are experiencing this peace and expansion, and without going into thought or without contracting again. Because sometimes language feels like a funnel into which we try to direct our experience. So that's an interesting practice. It's happening, and sometimes I'm at a loss of words, and or I blank out. I'm not going to say now. And then we find that actually that's a good moment when we are at a loss for words, because something else comes up. So then, as we've been doing this practice, we added another dimension, and it was the dimension of recording our hangouts and watching them later. And that was interesting, very interesting, because it kind of confronted us with seeing ourselves from the future, like from another perspective, from the outside, I should say. And as uncomfortable as it was great. It brought another dimension to our sharing. And now we have yet another dimension, which is to be on air. And so it really is, in my experience, in our experience, like I'm feeling my internal experience right now, and I feel the external experience at the same time. So it's like 360 degrees and more. It's like space. It's like developing a muscle here. We are certainly not used to that being also to identify as little as possible with the forms that emerge inside this field of consciousness, and there are many. So we keep on going back to the awareness of awareness all along. So we are multitasking here quite a bit, and that's like going to the gym. It's like we are really exercising our body, heart, and mind. We will. I expect to become pretty buff, so with all this practice, and hopefully something transpires here that will bring other people to join us in this amazing space that we create all together. Anyway, this is what I have to say, and I'll pass the mic. Thank you.
So true. I think of all the energy I put into my weightlifting when I was younger, and how skinny I am now. It all amounted to nothing. And yet this attention to awareness that we practice, it amounts to something, something substantial that can't be ever removed from your awareness. It's a practice worth practicing. It doesn't lead to futility. It leads to a solid foundation that is something extraordinary. I don't know how to explain all the understandings and and moments of awareness, experiencing continually, not always blissful. Sometimes it feels very tumultuous, difficult, like you've been given this responsibility for something very profound, and you have to ferret it out little by little. You can't just blurt it all out at once. It's too much to bear. And maybe that's the expanded practice that we are sharing now. Sharing it in public with each other through these videos. It's a natural outreach of this simple practice, but also something that leads to profound redefinition of self, that wants to share, that realizes how confining it has been and is to set such a limited definition of yourself as being a body or a mind or an individual. It's like being in a straitjacket. And as you realize your nature by being simply by being present and placing attention on attention. It's so simple. It's to say you are consciousness. It's just 3 words. It's such simplicity, and yet that as you delve into that, the reality of that, embrace that, it leads to profound new vistas, and that sort of jubilation of the jubilance of that bliss of self-knowingness that can be shared and recognized. It wants to reach out. It wants to celebrate itself through the medium of sharing. And this is what we're doing here. It's like it's something we can't understand the gravity of right now. We just can follow along, do the best we can in these moments, sharing it, not really understanding the end result. And not being able to take credit for it either. Even Sperry, the one who's been practicing for all these decades, he's just in this present moment with us, like we are. It's a co-creation, so far beyond any of us as individuals. And it's humbling in the extreme. What can we do? We just keep going, inviting our other selves to participate, while accepting this gift that we've been given, self-knowledge. Wow. That's so often I say whatever I say, and at the end I just laugh because it just seems like the perfect way to summarize. It's just to laugh. It's incredible. So, yeah. Okay. Whew. Thank you.
Well, I feel that when we are together and we experience unity, it's a natural kind of force, kind of life force that wants to expand and reach all, because it knows it's all. It knows that there's no separation. And I'm thinking that where I'm from, Bilbao, in Spain, when you want to express to your guests, and I'm talking to you viewers, like, guests, if you want, you give them lots of food, and you cook for them, and you make sure that they try the best things, and they have more than enough, and you kind of, give them more than they might need, so they really, really feel kind of showered by lots of welcoming. And I think it's a natural kind of, it's a natural movement of this unity consciousness to shower everybody, to include everyone, to share and enjoy with everyone and everything, and to make it manifested, because it's there. It is there. But when we don't pay attention, it might look as if it's not there. So I think our natural kind of standing and invitation and embracing is just for all of us to pay attention together, whether we are here, whether you're there, whether even, here with us, viewing, or so now I think we are talking to those human beings that perhaps will never heard us or seen us. And yet, I think that this expansion of our hearts just reach everyone. And I think it's a fulfilling movement of the heart that really it's a natural state of oneness to manifest the oneness, to paint with colors everything, because it comes effortlessly, it comes joyfully, it comes naturally, and it just wants to include the whole world, and perhaps never to stop until the whole world, is included. Thank you. So let's go next.
Yeah, this is definitely a very inclusive process. My plants can feel it, and it makes them happier because I can feel it. And there's a self-organizing principle that comes in here. This unity is organized, creates order, like a natural order, like recognizing universal laws and naturally. And so there's a process here that develops, which is away from chaos, and away from strife. It just naturally happens. And we naturally sense what is, how we should relate to each other and how we should care for each other. And the simplicity. So simple. To leave all the complexity behind. And it's so light. It's light. It's truth. It's the way it's supposed to be. Who would like to go next?
Yes, I wanted to say to Gary that we enjoy so much your laughs. It's so beautiful when you make us feel so happy. And I love to feel that with you. And this unity that we feel and experience together is part of this nature that we are. It's part of us all. As Naomi said, it's naturally implied. It's part of it. So it's so easy just to pay attention to it. So because we immediately become it, flow with it, be it, part of it, and eat completely. It's a universal, beautiful feeling of completion, complete, to be complete. And it's here all the time, available for all of us. It's just a matter of paying attention and open up to notice that it is here, always. And in this group, what we are doing is just noticing. And we all can do these every moment, every time, everywhere. And as Sperry said, it's effortless. It seems to be sometimes challenging, or yes, and it might be sometimes because we are in our heads, in our minds, to be easy with it. But when we become these, when we just pay attention and you just notice what it is, we become completely free. Feel totally free and in the present moment, alive. With no beginning or end. I want to thank you all for sharing this experience with us. Hopefully every Sunday or Tuesday or Thursday, we can get more people joining us to experience this beauty of creation, of what we all are, what we can feel by being here, there, everywhere, just by noticing, paying attention, observing, feeling it. We are these. I pass the mic. Thank you.
Just in a quick summary, recap, what I find makes it so natural and effortless is that nature's created us to survive by paying attention. The plants pay attention to the sunlight and the air and the water and the roots. And so we need to pay attention to a lot of things in order to survive and thrive, not only alone but together. And it's just including one more thing to pay attention to, which actually makes everything effortless and makes it our communion, our communication, our commonly sensed intelligence available to us, is to pay attention, to perceive attention itself, which has no image, alongside and equal to, not more important than, all the images that normally gather our attention. So with only maybe 5, 10, 15% in any given moment of our moment-to-moment attention, and noticing how well we're noticing our own noticing, the energetic of it, at a sensory, emotional, mental, and intuitive level in a fully embodied way, just notice ourselves noticing how that orchestrates and organizes everything that we're experiencing, and how easy it makes it for us to share sensitivities and love and joy and insightful, visionary intelligence. So let's open our mics and say bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Love you guys. Love you. Until next time.
Bye. Lots of love. See you soon. Bye.
Terrific. That's terrific. Thank you.
Love all of you.
Yeah, love there. It's gorgeous. Bye-bye.